Hello, welcome back to Audit Pop Culture. We're going over the album by Broods called Don't Feed the Pop Star. So, Broods, I like them. I love their I love their first album. And then they went into Cautious or Conscience or something like that, which was a little more like, I don't know, it felt a little darker or something, but I don't know. I wasn't really into it, and so I kind of moved away from them, and then I finally came back into them when they started doing, when they did this song. Well, actually, Peach was the first song that brought me in. I was like, ooh, they have a different sound, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of made me feel like it was like more of a pop sound. Come to find out, it's a pop sound, but it's more of it felt like it was more, this whole album seems like it's a nod to the ironic, it's pop ironically, it's poppy ironically, it's catchy ironically, just to nod to I feel like how easy it is to get into that, like, to fall into a place where you can just be catchy and generic and still, like, get tons of, like, mainstream, like, praise. So, in this album, I actually personally really, really like it. I feel like it talks about a lot of things, including mental health and the pressures of being who you are, and it's like that, and just hits a lot of pieces. So I'll go through them all and kind of explain and kind of go down definition, and plus of what I looked up and found out about stuff. So we're going to start off with number 1, which is Sucker, the very first song. I like the song. I felt like it's a great beginning of the song, of this album, and I love how they basically are falling into this don't feed the pop monster, don't feed into the industry. And this one's another one where they had talked about how they are a sucker for everything, how they tried to go in, they tried to be caught up with the trendiest fashions and the trends and everything that's going on, and try to match it again and again and again, but it doesn't seem to work. And so in this song, they're realizing that it's not working, and they're going to the point where they're like, okay, well, if this is not working, why don't we just embrace who we are? Like, our quirkiness, our weird awkwardness, our moodiness in our songs, like, why don't we just embrace that, and kind of show people, like, this is who we are, this is what we want to do. Number 2 is Why Don't You Believe Me, which is very interesting. It kind of is a nod to Britney Spears' Lucky, kind of how, like, the sound, sonically it's not. Sounds pretty completely different, but this message is very Lucky. It's like if she has everything she wanted, why is there tears at night? And I feel like this is the same thing, except the other way of how they had to put up a front that they actually are right to other people, when people are like, oh my god, you must love your life, you get so much money, you travel around the world and everything, and everybody loves you, and life must be fucking grand, And the thing is that not everybody's happy, just because money doesn't really buy happiness all the time. It temporarily does. I will definitely admit that, but I feel like in the end of it, it doesn't really buy you everything you want. And that could conclude into being very, like, weird about having to feel like you must be okay with this, you must be happy because this is happening, but at the same time you kind of realize it's like, it's not really how I feel though. Number 3 is Peach. Peach is a very happy, sad song. If you remember from my other video, how I said that let me see if I can find it. I like the Sigrid, she also has that kind of thing where she's like, the song is very happy, not beat, but it's all about breaking up, It's just very sad. This one's one of them too. First of all, I want to acknowledge it's very Marina and the Diamonds, like in a diamonds, either one. It's just like, it reminds me of that, how the way that she sings, the way that the song kind of goes and the pattern, it gives me that kind of feel. The one thing I do like that I want to point out, so the song's really fun. The song, I like the fact that she has a higher pitch when she's like, I'm high, I'm low, but everything's looking peach now. But like, I felt like that was a really interesting kind of sound, Like, it felt like it they don't really, it doesn't seem, they don't usually mess around with their vocals much, but this is one of the moments when they do, and I really, really like it. One thing I do like from it is that they've talked about the more I know, the less I feel right. And I feel like the more I know, less I feel right. It's kind of like the more you kind of understand the world, the more that stuff happens. Sometimes you can kind of get depressed out of seeing what's going on, you know? You're like, ugh, this is like, I know that the fact, like, sometimes ignorance is bliss in certain occasions, but sometimes you are kind of experienced into it, and you're like, oh, now that I notice, like, now that I know there's, like, wars over in this certain country, you know, like, just that's one example. Like, you just kind of feel bad, you feel down about it, you know? I do like the piano, the little rhythmic piano in the background. I feel like that was really cool. Number 4 is Falling Apart, which I feel like this is very Imogen Heap. I feel like it's more her. It sounds like a lot of her song. Like, I kind of would love her if she if she would cover it. But I really like the sound of that. Like, due to that, it sounds similar to her. I love the sound of it. I love the levels of different different harmonies in each voice, and so it's really cool. Number 5 is Every Time You Go, and I love the beat in this one. This is a really good beat. It's a little downer, but it's really good. It's pretty much feeling it's the idea of it is saying that she's physically saying is that she feels empty and helpless when her person like kind of shuts down and doesn't really let her in to know how everything feels. And I think in a loose theory is that she's talking about Caleb. So there's two people in this group, just so you guys know. Broods has Georgia and Caleb. So I feel like she's singing this to Caleb, just like, I wish I could kind of hear what you feel, so I can help you, you know. And then it falls into number 6, which is Dust, which is, I feel like I love the little echoey guitar that comes into it. It's really cute. And one thing, and I love this one because it feels like she adds on to the other part of it, of Every Time You Go. And I feel like it's talking about like how she's trying to she doesn't feel like where she's at is meaningful. Like, it doesn't really find meaning. And so, or some type of higher meaning. So she wants to go somewhere else or find another place that gives her that purpose, you know? So I like it in that type of way. I love the slowness of it and the echoey sound of the guitar. Number 7 is one of the second singles, which is a very intense song, but very vulnerable, very, very just, and I feel like one of the most vulnerable but strongest songs off of this album, lyrically. Just how you feel about it is Too Proud, and it's Caleb is his first time singing by himself in his full verse, and she comes in and out, but like, you know, you got harmony, you gotta have that type of balance. But it's the first time he sings, and he's singing about his depression. He's singing about how like he's too proud to show anybody that's happening, and I can definitely relate to that. I feel like it's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of people out there, a good portion of people out there that feel that they can't just express how they feel about certain things because they don't want to be embarrassed to know that they're depressed. You know, sometimes depression and mental health in general is still something that's hard to really understand, and there's a lot of people out there that because they don't experience it, think it's a small issue, you know, when it's a big, huge issue. Number 8 is To Belong, which I love this song. I feel like it's another thing, like every time he goes, she's nodding to him saying like, you just want to feel loved. I know that you just want to belong, you know. And one thing I did find out is that this is a nod to also in general, not just Caleb, but to men who feel like they can't express their feelings. They can't be vulnerable. They can't have a moment of weakness, you know. They have to be strong. They have to be like hard and everything and have no emotions or anything. And this one, it goes above that and say like, I know that's how you feel, but I know deep inside you just want to belong. You just want to have that, you know. Number 9 is Old Dog. Old Dog is a really good song. It's actually, it kind of reminds, it's very 90s sounding. It's very 90s rock in a way, like in that type of like, how can I explain it? Like Annalise Morissette kind of direction without the angst. Like it's, well, maybe a little angst, but like more uppity pop angst for the with the na-na-nas, there's this what's this, sarcastic, like, catchiness, or the being catchy for the ironic look, you know? And I like this one, is this nodding to their record company that they are a part of, saying that, like, we're not gonna give you these half-baked fucking, mainstream, money grabber songs. We want to give you songs that are meaningful, you know? Number 10 is Hospitalized, which is the third single of this album, and I really like it because it actually pretty much talks about how depression again, how you don't really feel like people don't really see depression as a big deal, and it seemed like, and people that say you can get past it, just get over it, and it's like, it's not like that. Sometimes there's people that have depression that just don't really, it's triggered by nothing. Like, it just comes in and out. Sometimes you'll feel great and have nothing that's causing it, and all of a sudden you just have this, like, downgrade of just a depression. And it may come from something from the past or something like that. You don't really know. And it's harder with something you don't really know to kind of get yourself out of it. We don't know how you even started in the beginning, you know? So I feel like this song kind of nods to that type of thing, and it's like the only way to get people to actually understand that you're in pain is to physically be in pain, and to physically show them proof that you're in pain, which is a very sad kind of not, like, kind of thing to admit, but it's kind of true. Number 11 is Everything Goes Well. It's one of the songs, it kind of ends with it switching up to being more, like, upbeat and more hopeful. This one's kind of like, take your time and enjoy living in a now, and stuff like that. And I love the production. The production of this one is really, really good. Number 12 is the final song, which is Life After. And in this song, I really like this because the song and the production works really well. They all do in the whole thing, but I feel like this song was paid special attention to production and how the lyrics mingles with it. Because you'll have, like, a melody goes da 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 da, or the beat will kind of, like, form in and out like that, and she'll sing, and they'll just, like, do 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 kind of thing. Like, that's not anything close to what the song sounds like. That's the only way to give the example of what it sounds like. But yeah, so I like that sound. I like the fact that they really paid attention to this, and it ended hopefully. It very, very hopeful. It gave you got through the dark parts, you got through the misunderstandings, you got through the admitting that one wants to help each other, and finally it comes to a nice ending conclusion, which is I really, really love. Honestly, the first album's really good, but this is definitely something that's close to beating it. I'm really, really happy. I really feel like this is a really good solid album, and I'm really glad that they can evolve. Each album is something different. Like, they're evolving in that type of way, and I really not involving. It seems like they love switching it up sounds, but still sticking to themselves, and I really like that. It's really hard to really do in certain places. I've seen other pop stars try to go that direction, or other musicians try to go that direction, do a different sound. It just comes off as cheesy, you know. But it comes off as very authentic, and I really, really like it. So that's all the songs off of it. I definitely give it like a 9 out of 10. Like, it's really good. It's rough to go through if you're hearing the lyrics, but it's really good. It's worth going through. So let me know what you think. Did you like the album? Did you care for did you get all the lyrics? I really hope that me breaking down the songs and the definitions of what everything means due to what I looked up, that it helps you understand the album a little more, which is a really great idea to kind of go into it in that direction. So yeah, so that's it, and I hope everybody has a great week, and comment below, tell me what your favorite songs were. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.